My name is Martina Zabueníková. This is my story. I am from Slovakia. I was born and raised in a very small town that has about 5,000 people. It's called Bojnice, so it's like a hidden gem in the middle of Slovakia. What is beautiful about my hometown is that we have a historical castle from the 13th century. I grew up there. My backyard is forest. I would see deers and rabbits and foxes in the winter. When I brought some of my American friends there, they said it looks like Game of Thrones. Very thankful for growing up there because it gave me really great foundation. I had a great childhood. I was out all the time, not using much phones, on being on the TV playing PlayStation or something. We were outside playing, having fun. I had a couple of, families that the kids were the same age, so we all grew up together. It was fantastic. I really had a great time.
What would you think, that growing up that way has influenced the woman that you became, that you are now?
I grew up going to church, I went to Catholic school, so I definitely have the foundation, and I was very disciplined because my parents would make me go to piano and drawing classes, and it really shaped me because, Slovakia has really good values. They teach us at school how to be a good person, how to help others, and I think I carry that still now. As an adult. My hometown, we are all the same. We are all Catholics, we are all Europeans, so I grew up in the very unified community. Everybody was the same. And that's different from America because here everybody is different religion, different background, different everything. So yeah, that was a cultural difference. I moved to US at the age of 22, and what made me move here is that I came here twice before that, for 3 months when I was 19 and then when I was 20, and I just fell in love with Miami, with all the possibilities, with all the cultures, with the tropical climate, with Latin culture and music, and it's just like a happy living here compared to Slovakia, for example. My dream was to own a hotel. I wanted to be a big hotel owner. I had no idea what that really entails in reality to make that happen. But fun fact about that is that I had this vision of 2 tall buildings, and what happened is that I ended up working at one hotel on South Beach, which looks just like that vision I had. So I don't own that, but I worked at the place that looked just like my vision. I had another dream when I was a child, when I was a little girl. My mom made me shovel the snow from our driveway before we went to school. So we had to wake up 1 hour earlier to do that. And I was very unhappy about that because I never wanted to leave my warm bed to work, to do the shoveling. So I had this thought in my mind that I was shoveling, and I remember I would have this self-talk, and I was like, oh my God, when I'm a big girl, I live in the country where the snow doesn't exist. And I didn't know that I'm basically manifesting that, right? So what happened is that I live in the country, in the state, in Florida, where there is no snow.
So by the age of 22, you get to the US,
yes.
Straight to Miami. You know you wanted to be in Miami.
Yes.
How was that experience? I guess you came alone, no family. How was that? Literally started from zero. How was that for you?
When I was 22, my mom bought me flight tickets. She gave me $700, and it was wild. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't have any plan. I just had this feeling, the intuition was telling me that Miami is where I belong, where I should be, where I should start. I literally had no idea what I'm doing or how I'm gonna survive. I paid, out of the $700, I paid $500 left rent. I had $200 left. I bought myself the flip phone that I needed to communicate when I was looking for a job. I was always in the hospitality industry because I studied hospitality and tourism management in Slovakia and in Miami-Dade College. Every single job that I had in Miami shaped me into who I am today and what I do. So if someone gave me like a quick preview of how my life would look like, I would be like, stop messing with me, like don't give me this is too good to be true. I would never think that my life is going to be what it is in 2025. I always wanted to have a business. It happened just by my own life demand because I was celebrating my birthday with my friend, like we share birthdays, so we wanted to celebrate together, but we both have been living in Miami for quite some time, so we wanted to do something different. We didn't want to do clubbing, brunch, boat, partying, none of that. We wanted something more meaningful, something more spiritual, so we organized a picnic for our close friends. We all dressed up as goddesses and wore like a gold crowns, and we had the little buffet, and we did cacao ceremony and just did some blankets and pillows and had the sparkles. So that's how it started. We posted that on social media. It took off from there. A lot of people were asking like, oh my God, what is that? I want that, like la la la. And I realized in the process of creating this setup, I was like, oh my gosh, like the excitement of creating this is it. This is my business.
What's been the biggest challenge as an entrepreneur that you think you've faced so far?
Starting business without any money. Like I started 𝒂𝒓𝒏𝒂 with $2,000 and I had no money for marketing or any of that. I just had to do everything very resourcefully, meaning like do as many things I can without spending any money. I didn't have car or storage, so I was Ubering with all the equipment to the beach. And a lot of Uber drivers rejected me when they saw me with like the full beach wagon with all the pillows and all. They were like, no. I never paid for any advertisement. It's only friends and friends referrals on Instagram for paying influencers or paying huge marketing firms or any of that. I just had to do everything from what I have. I define success to have life that has purpose, that has a meaning, that gives me fulfillment, happiness, joy, like whatever I do on a daily basis. So if I wake up and I have purpose and I know what I'm doing makes sense, helps others and helps myself as well, that's when I'm like, okay, my life has meaning. Life is to share experience with others. Without that, what is life about? It would be very lonely. Welcome, fearless dreamers. This is a new episode of the Unstoppable Immigrant Podcast. When I started the podcast, I Googled the word immigrant and podcast, like I was playing around with it, and I found out that the word immigrant has such a negative stigma around it, and it makes me sad because this country exists mainly because of immigrants. The American person would not cut the grass or take the trash out or work as hard as we are working hard because we need to work X times harder to make it work for us here. It's different language, a different environment, like we just have to learn and adapt very differently. It is so different to live in US, and 95% of my friends are immigrants, and we all have different stories, and that's why we bond, because we understand our story and our struggles and how we created life in the United States. And it inspired me to start it, to share my story, to share everybody else's story, because at the beginning of my immigrant journey, I wish there was such podcast or someone who could give me guidance. So I hope this podcast will give people guidance, help them, inspire them, and uplift them, and make them feel like they're not alone fighting for a better life.
What is a limiting belief that you used to have that wouldn't allow you to be the woman you are today?
I think my limited belief that was implemented into my mindset when I was still living in Slovakia, when I was a child or teenager, was that I cannot do things. Like, I've been told that I have to listen to the teachers or whatever, whoever was my superior, or parents or grandparents. But then when I moved here, I realized that I can do things. Like, I can do whatever I want, whatever is meant for me to happen, that I can do. When I came here, I was like, you know what, I can do whatever I want.
So if you could give yourself at 22 an advice, what would that be?
So when I was 22, I had just moved to US. So what I would tell myself is that life is good. Life is gonna be great. You can do anything, and you will do great things. And don't be afraid, because on the other side of the fear is a lot of great things.
What would you tell her if you could talk to her right now?
Oh my gosh, where did you find it? I think I'm gonna cry. What I would tell to this little beautiful girl there is that life is an amazing experience, and enjoy it, and don't listen to anyone who tells you no, or who tells you you cannot do things, because you can do whatever you want, and you are the star of your own movie and the director of your own movie, and you can do whatever you want.